Gee, that's folks, how you doing? I want to tell you a ghost story, a true ghost story. Now, this ghost story involves a lady who retired early. She retired through illness and found that all this time was making her very bored. Being used to working her whole life, she found that all this time to herself wasn't doing her any good. So she decided what she was going to do was check through YouTube and see if there was anything there that interested her. And there was. And what interested her was furniture restoration. So she decided this was her new thing she was going to get involved in. So she started buying bits and pieces, fixing them up and selling them online. And she was getting a good turnover. Till this one day she went to the auctions, and in the auctions she had spotted this writing bureau, and she thought it was a diamond in the rough. She looked at it and she thought it could do with a bit of work, but it was pretty much still in decent shape. Wouldn't be much work in it. So she bid it on it. She won. She got it. So it got delivered to her home. She put it in her garage, began to work on it. She made a good job of it. It's a sign, candles falling off. She made a great job of it, so much so that she decided she didn't want to sell it and she wanted to move it in the house. So she said to her husband, listen, do you want to come out and check this out, see what you think about it? He came out, seen it, and thought it was absolutely amazing, thought it was lovely. Thought it would really, really fit in to what the vibe of the house they had going. So they moved it in to the dining room and fit it in well. They started to notice about a week or two after I'd been in the house a few knocks and bangs downstairs while they were in bed. So they checked them out, nothing there. So they attributed it to the neighbours. Then they heard more and more. So they started wondering, there's somebody trying to steal the car at the front of the house. So they eventually got cameras set up at the front of the house, but no avail, nothing was seen. Then this one night, the two of them were sitting watching a movie night they just had, just to chill out, just relax. Until she said she seen something through her peripheral vision. She said it just looked like something flicking past. She kind of glanced over, but nothing there. Then she noticed her husband's eyes flicking over in the same direction. So she says to him, Did you see something there? He says, I thought I did. She says, so did I. So they sat for about another 5 minutes, watching the movie, and the lady feels her husband nudging her side, pushing into her side with his elbow. And she looks around, and her husband's face is white as a sheet, and his eyes are like this. He's staring right over in the direction of the writing bureau. To this, she follows and traces his line of sight over to the writing bureau, and what she sees absolutely terrifies her. For sitting right at the bureau was a man who looked like he was in his 50s, in 1950s style clothing, like a period dress from then clothing, just sitting with his head and his hands are just leant over. It just looked like he was ruminating. He was just in deep thought. He wasn't paying no attention to them, but they were paying attention to him. They were froze. She said that the vision itself stayed there for about 5 to 10 seconds. She says, and it felt like a lifetime. Then it just gradually started to dissipate and there was nothing there. At this, the husband was going, we're getting that thing out of this house. Clearly something's in with that house. That's what the banging is. That's what the noises are. It's got to go. But the wife had grown very attached to this writing bureau. Strangely attached to this writing bureau. In a concerned manner for her husband. She didn't want to let it go. She wanted to keep it. It became her pride and joy. And it was strange to him. It was worrying. It was concerning. After what they'd seen, why would you be so interested in this? Until this one night, they were sitting downstairs watching TV and decided to go to bed. And they did. They went up, they went into their room, switched the lights off, rolled over, tried to sleep. Until all of a sudden, they heard a crash and a bang. And their wedding portrait that they had in the wall was thrown across the room and smashed at the other side of the room. And standing right at the bottom of the bed Staring at him and his wife was the same man who they had seen sitting at the writing bureau. At this, the two of them were terrified, absolutely terrified. To the point they couldn't move. They just sat staring and staring as he looked back at them, and his eyes just looked like they were filled with anger and resentment. Was he resentful for the fact that her husband had her? Is that why she was so attached to the writing bureau? Was it because he was trying to draw her in? He wanted her all for himself, and because it wasn't happening, he smashed her wedding picture? Maybe. But he kept staring. At this, the husband and the wife began to pray and pray and pray and pray, tell him he wasn't welcome when they were eventually able to catch their voices. He dissipated and went away. At this, the husband said, "That thing is out of here. It's gone." They got up the next morning. I wouldn't even wait until the next morning. They got up the next morning, got it out. I don't know whether they sold it or whether they dumped it. But what I would say, if anybody recently has purchased a second-hand refurbished writing bureau, and there's any bangs or knocks happening at night time downstairs while you're in bed sleeping that are strangely, you can't explain, strangely unexplainable, I'd get rid of it. Anyway, folks, that's as much as I know about the bureau. Let's hope nobody's bought one. But folks, thanks very much for watching. Gurmila Meogat. So.